All right, let's go on to our next topic, which will transition from Villanova to Kyle Neptune being one of the coaches that has pressure on him. Again, It's year 2. Like, I get it. Kyle Neptune's not going to be fired unless they're horrible.
I mean, unless they're just so bad.
Yes.
That would be the thing.
Which they're not going to be. He had a tough go last year, right? You had to replace Jay Wright, and you had major injuries right out of the gate. You didn't have Justin Moore. You had your top freshman that was hurt all preseason in the first part of the year. You didn't have a point guard. I mean, you legitimately didn't have a point guard last year. So it was completely unfair. But having said that, now he's got all this talent, and there's going to be some pressure on him. Although, Rob, the good thing, and maybe it's only because Kyle Neptune's the coach, it's not like a lot of people are picking Villanova. They're not putting him in the preseason top 10. So he'll have expectations, but they may not be, expectations to go to a Final Four, even an Elite Eight.
Yeah. No, I agree. Are we putting like a number on this, 1 to 10, or?
Yeah, either that or what does he have to do to be okay?
If he made the NCAA tournament, I feel like he'd be okay. Even though that roster, I would say, needs to be better than that. Like, if you're giving a 1 to 10 rating, I'd give him a 4. Yeah. If they miss the tournament, there's problems in Philadelphia there.
Yep.
But if they make the tourney, I think that they'd be like, fine. Okay, we're trending in the right direction.
Yes, I would agree. You can't not make the tournament with that roster. If you do, you'll go into year 3 on the squarely on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that.
All right. The elephant in the room here is John Calipari, and listen, he's had a rough go, right?
He hasn't been to the second weekend since what, like 2019. 2019 was the last second weekend he's been to. What are they preseason, like 17?
Yeah, I have somewhere in that 15 to 25 range. I think is fair. They're a freshman laden team, but obviously you have Antonio Reeves and Trey Mitchell. But we got to remember, Antonio Reeves was a good player, not a great player last year, and Trey Mitchell's been a solid player wherever he's been, other than UMass. Right?
That was a great call by you saying he wasn't coming back to school. That was really well done.
Who?
Antonio Reeves. Yeah, didn't you say he was taking classes at Illinois State?
Factual. That was factual.
You said he wasn't coming back, and now
I said it looked like he wasn't coming back. That was the way it was trending.
It looks like it, yeah.
Until they gave him a rule that said that he wasn't going to be eligible, he would have been gone. He would. So that's the other part of Kentucky that kind of worries me, Rob. Like Antonio. Now I know he's back in now, but at the first sign of these freshmen maybe jacking up shots, is Antonio Reeves going to?
You worry about the chemistry, huh?
Potentially. Don't you? The kid obviously didn't want to be there.
Well, and I worry just about how does the offense work? Because the offense has just not been. It's just
strength.
It's not a strength. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Not a strength for Kentucky the last couple seasons. I think the pressure on Cal to win is high. For numerically, I'll go 8. I think that just the Kentucky fan base is so thirsty to make it past the second round of the NCAA tournament. They got to get to the second weekend, I think, for there to be nothing about Cal this offseason.
Yeah, again, $33 million is still what he's owed. So it's is anybody going to?
I'm not saying they're going to fire. I just think the heat continues to get turned up. I'm not saying fired, but I know he's owed a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you there. It's could somebody write a check? Could they? Yeah, maybe. If it's that bad this year, which I don't anticipate it's going to be that bad. I think they're going to be a tournament team. I think they're going to have their ups and downs this season because of their youth and because we don't know if Aaron Bradshaw's healthy and how much he's going to play. But I would say I agree with you that he raised the bar so high early.
Well, early it was just like every year they're going to be in the Final Four,
right?
And their talent was so insane too.
Right.
Not that their talent is bad now; they still have talent, but you look at the roster that they had with the Anthony Davis team. I mean, I guess the weakest link in the starting lineup probably is Marcus Teague. He's like a McDonald's All-American. You've got Kid Gilchrist, you've got Terrence Williams, you've got. Darius Miller came off the bench. It's insane.
Right.
He's really good. He's playing for 8 years.
I think 8 is probably accurate in terms of like the heat on Cal. Now, again, does that equate to firing him because of the money? Probably not.
Yeah.
Now there's an offset too. Like if he took another job, they're not going to owe him $33 million, but
Sure.
you can't go into it. You don't know. So you're still, having the worst case scenario would be owing him $33 million. And I don't think anybody at Kentucky wants to do that.
Right.
All right. Next, we will go with Hubert Davis, which is a really interesting one. I mean, super interesting because, again, they were average 2 years ago for most of the season. They turn it up and they go on this crazy run to get to the title game. Come back last year, preseason number 1, and become the first team ever to go from there to spectators in the NCAA tournament. So now year 3, can they have another year like that, Rob? I would say, I don't know if they don't make the tournament again, which again, I don't think will happen because I think RJ and Baycott are too good. And
Harrison Ingram and Cormac Ryan and I agree. They'll make the tournament, I think. They'll make
you think, but again, let's go worst case scenario and say they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, does that, like, how much does that run?
I mean, I would say the Heat is 9, but the next year is the year. Yeah. He's a Carolina guy. He's made it to the national title game,
and he's the nicest human being.
And he's well liked, and everybody likes him there, obviously. So I think that there would be serious pressure, but I don't think they would fire him.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. And I think as long as he gets in the tournament this year, it's not going to be enough, but it'll be enough to take some of the pressure off. You can't go 2 years in a row without going to the NCAA tournament at North Carolina, especially when you have 2 guys that are potentially All-Americans, right? Baycott is an All-American, and RJ is like a fringe All-American. Like he could become an All-American this year.
I'm really intrigued to see Jalen Washington. He's been hurt since high school.
Yeah.
Northwest Indiana kid.
Yep.
I really.
Can you play him with Baycott? Can you play him together? That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, can he step out and shoot? I can't say I've seen him play a lot. I've heard a lot about him.
I haven't seen it. And Baycott told me he wants to make at least 10 threes this year. That's
Baycott shooting threes this year.
He's made 1 in his career. So
10 times.
That's what he wants. Yeah, he wants 10 threes. So all right, Juwan Howard. This is right up your alley. You're a hairy Big Ten. So tell me what Juwan Howard, who inherited a great culture from Beeline. He went to an Elite 8 the year of the bubble. He went to an Elite 8 in the last 2 years, although they went to a Sweet 16.
They did go to the Sweet 16. Yeah, right.
But they barely got in. They were 11-9 in the league. Last year, 11-9 again, didn't go at all. And then you have 2 first-rounders and an All-American, and you don't go anywhere last year, and you lose them all. And this roster looks very, very underwhelming, does it not?
Yeah, I think compared to what they had 3 years ago, there's a lot on the shoulders of Olivier Kamwa. There's going to be a lot asked of Namari Burnett. I think there's some real. How does Kamwa play with Terrace Reed? Can Doug McDaniel take a jump? He played pretty well as a freshman at the point. All things considering, is Jalen Llewellyn healthy? Is Juwan Howard going to be healthy? Right now, I don't know what his kind of status is with his heart thing. So he had a procedure. I think that if they are bad, the Heat is 10. I really do. Now, again, he's a Michigan guy.
Right. Yep.
But I think there would be serious heat on Juwan Howard if he doesn't make the NCAA tournament this year. I don't know if he'd be fired, but it would be close. And next year would have to be make the tournament.
Yeah, all these guys are in a similar position to me, and we'll get to the last one in a minute. But all these guys, to me, are not going to be fired after this year, but would all go in if they don't make the tournament, or like in Cal's case, if he doesn't get to the second weekend. I think they all go in next year with a ton. They're all in the hot seat next year.
Yeah. I wonder though if Juwan Howard gets some reprieve from the perspective that they've had guys committed, Terrence Shannon,
because of NIL,
Caleb
NIL
Love,
and academics,
because of the academics and because of NIL stuff, they haven't got these guys into school.
Yeah.
That's more so academics with those two. I mean, maybe the school says, all right, we shafted you. The roster would have been a different story with Terrence Shannon last year, obviously. I mean, he would have made a difference. So, but I don't know. They have had such a good run since, I would say, 2013 on. Since like the Trey Burke sophomore year team, they have been an elite program. And that's not what this roster looks like, I would say.
Last one is Chris Holtman, Ohio State. Got in the tournament every year. He got in the tournament every year since he took over as head coach at Butler. And then last year. Right. Except last year. I was getting there.
Yeah, you were getting
there. And
last
last year they were terrible. They were absolutely terrible with talent. They finished, I think, 13th in the Big Ten. They finished okay in the Big Ten tournament, but they lost like 13 games in a row, I think, at one point. They were awful last year. New team for the most part, I think
still with like a core of some young guys in Zed Key.
Yep.
That's the
but
three
I think
guys.
Key's going to come off the bench.
No, I think Akpara's coming. That dude is going to be nice.
Yes.
End of the year last year when they made their little run at the Big Ten tournament, Bruce Thornton, Roddy Gale, and Akpara are the core. You have Key off the bench is a good option. I think Jamison Battle has a chance to have a real bounce back here. If you watched him play at Minnesota 2 years ago with some talented guards at the 4, he was effective. But last year playing the 3 and having to be the guy was a different story. He was a little hurt. I think he could be really good at Ohio State. I think Ohio State is a team that's flying under the radar. As for the hot seat, if Holtman wasn't to make the tournament, I think the seat would be hot. I think it would be really, really hot.
Same issue. Again, same deal as all these other guys. If they get in the tournament, other than Cal, I think Cal's got to do something in the tournament. All the other ones, if they get in, they're okay.
But the Ohio State roster is talent. I mean, Scotty Middleton's a talented freshman. Dale Bonner can play from Baylor. Evan Mahaffey, the Penn State kid, has a chance. He's like a 6'5" athlete.
The guy's coming back. Like you said, Roddy Gale, does he pick up where he left off?
He was great. And so was Bruce Thornton. Bruce Thornton was too.
Thornton's going to be good, though. Thornton, I'm not worried about. I know what I'm getting out of Thornton. With Gale, I don't know if he's going to pick up where he left off.
Well, hopefully he's had a good summer in the weight room. He needed that.